Anyway, enough with that. I'm silly, I know. But there can only be one. Only one man with that hair. Anyway, we're back for some more Jake Hunter. Let me get rid of all these, silly things I made here, and get on with the show. It's just, I think the real mystery is that I don't understand how they get their hair to stay up like that. But yeah, let's get on with Seaside Conspiracy. Yeah, we have to select a new game. I know it's kind of weird, but that's just what we do. But anyway, Detective Jake Hunter, episode number 2, Seaside Conspiracy. See, I wish I could do those, those little movie intros that I do sometimes, record it, but I have to do them all, live. So, there might be some mistakes, but, it's just for fun. It's not really anything. Let's see what's going on here. I hope you guys do enjoy those, but, because I do. They're kind of dumb, and, yeah. Let me just make sure everything is running correctly here, and we'll get on. We'll get on with it. All right, let's do this. I watched the spring sunlight filter through a lonely glass, empty of scotch. It spread across my desk, casting arcs of light and shadow over the scattered papers and crumpled marble cartons. Man, this guy has nothing to do. I could hear Yulia typing away over the corner of the office on God knows what. Yulia, full name Yulia Marks, was and is the only employee of the Hunter Detective Agency from myself. She's smart, talented, and cool under pressure. Plus, she could speak just about any language you're likely to run into at Spicio. She'd only been working for me for about a year back then, but I've already become far too dependent on her. That is why I had to kill her. It was one of the nicer days we'd had that spring. Quiet, too. My office sits in the middle of the Tripudio district of Espicio City, but it's nestled back a ways from the busier streets. It's quieter than the rest of the city, but that day seemed especially relaxed. A little too relaxed. Just as I was about to doze off for the second or third time that day, I noticed Julia had stopped typing. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Was I disturbing your nap while I'm here hard at work? I don't think you could disturb me if you tried, dollface. Well, if you're not sleeping, maybe you should be out looking for a client. I know it seems like you've been busy lately, but you never know when that stream of clients might dry up. Maybe you should call around a little, just to see if you might be able to pick up some work. Man, damn, I'm her boss and she's telling me what to do. You're not my mommy. You'll tell me what to do. The words were barely out of her mouth when, speak as the devil, as they say. Oh, well, perhaps this is our lucky day. Yulia reached over and lifted the phone off the hook. Hello, this is the Hunter Detective Agency. How may I help you? Hello, this is Satan. May I ask who's calling? Thank you. Just one moment, please. Sir, it's ... calling. And Mr. Holloway is on the line. Holloway? Never heard of him. Probably just some sap who thinks his girl's running around with another guy. I don't know, he's in the hallway. That was bad. Hello, Detective Jake Hunter speaking. Please, you have to find her. Yep. You have to find Eva. Excuse me? That's funny, I was just playing Parasite Eve. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. Look, buddy, I'd love to help, but you're gonna have to give me a little more than that. Eva's disappeared. I don't know what to do. It looked like he wasn't going to make it easy. What did I want to do? Talk to him, I guess? Alright, calm down, buddy. Just slow down. Take a deep breath. Tell me what's going on. I don't know who else to turn to. Mr. Hunter. Please. Please, you've got to help me. The guy was a mess, but his state of mind wasn't helping either of us. It looked like I didn't have much of a choice. Alright, Mr. Holloway. Where are you? I'm at the New Gold Hotel in Depono. Is that place where you get deponed? Great. A road trip. Alright, I'll be there as soon as I can. Oh, thank you, Mr. Hunter. Thank you. I'll be waiting for you. He sounded frantic enough, but I figured chances were it was just another run-of-the-mill missing person case. Maybe this Eva had just gotten tired of my new friend and taken off for a little secret vacation. It sounded like easy money. What was that all about? Sounds like somebody's girl cut out on him, and he'd like to know where she's out too. Hey, aren't you from Depono, sweetheart? Yes, sir. Depono, born and raised. I lived there until I went to study abroad in college. Then you're coming with me. A second pair of eyes, especially one that's familiar with the place, might come in handy. Besides, I'm sure you'd get all sorts of bored if I left you here with nothing to do. All right, babe. Pack it up. We're headed to Depono. And don't forget those papers. I don't think you finished my taxes yet. Sigh. In a few hours, Yulia and I were packed on our way to Depono. Damn, Jake Hunter has to worry about friggin' taxes. He's driving on the wrong side of the road. What the fuck is this? The day was clear and warm, and I was driving to the coast with a beautiful young woman. I was on my way to a case that looked like some fast, easy money. Maybe I'd even have time for a little vacation. If I'd known what was waiting for us in Depono. Conspiracy. Danger. Con. Death. I probably would have packed more scotch. It was the middle of the afternoon when Yulia and I pulled up in front of the new Grand Hotel. What if it was like really old? Would you call it new still? If he'd been telling the truth, the mysterious Mr. Holloway was somewhere inside. Well, Mr. Hunter, here we are, the new Grand Hotel. It's close to the docks. Chinatown. It's only Chinatown. In downtown Depono. So many tourists and foreign visitors stay here. Interesting. In other words, if Holloway's staying here, he's probably not a Depono native. Good to know. Let's go find the man of the hour. Alright. Let's look around. The lobby was brightly lit, and some sort of nautical theme. A couple of people stood near the front desk. I hate nautical themes. Is there a clerk around? Oh, clerk. Hi there. I'm here to meet a fellow by the name of Holloway. Think you could be a pal and let him know I'm here? Mr. Holloway. May I have your name, please? Sure, Jake Hunter. Thank you. One moment, please. He sort of looks like Shooter McGavin from Happy Gilmore. He's wearing the green jacket. He must have gotten away with it. Thank you for waiting. He said he would be right down and ask if you could wait right here. Thanks. Okay. Take a look at the elevator. I glanced over at the elevator as a nervous-looking man stepped out. Perhaps he was mysterious Mr. Holloway. Dude, something's got to change. I mean, you look like Adolf Hitler a little bit if you put the little mustache on there. Are you Mr. Hunter? That's what they call me. You Holloway? Yes, I'm Harry Holloway. I'm Harry all the way. I'm sorry about how I acted on the phone. I really, really appreciate you coming all the way out here to see me. He seemed to have calmed down a bit since our phone conversation, but he was still a little twitchy. Let's talk to him, shall we? Holloway, the case. You mentioned something about a dame called Eva. That's right. Think maybe you could fill me in on the details? Eva's my girlfriend. Her full name is Eva Christina. She's not from around here, is she? Yeah, that's right. She is a secretary at the consulate of the Republic of Baraka. Baraka? Holy shit, he has his own consulate? That's awesome. In Depono, I wonder if it's like rather spiky. So she is. Here's a photo of her. Eva was quite a girl. Hello, Eva. So that nose, though, it looks like she's got some surgery done. Even in the worn photograph he handed me, Eva shone like the sun. Like her name, her beauty had a European hint to it. Golden hair, pale skin, and a smile like $1,000,000. I saved it for my spank bank later. I could see why he was sad to lose her. Missing. You said you want me to find Eva? I take it she's gone missing. Yeah. I'm the navigator on a cargo ship. I just got back in 3 days ago. I'd been out at sea for the last 3 months. Oh, I wonder why he was dressed like that. Even I went out on a date the day I got back. We said goodbye afterwards, and since then, you haven't been able to get a hold of her, right? Yes. This was our first date. I just been stalking her for a little bit. She won't answer her cell, and she's not home. This is weird. Where'd you take her, Hooters? All right, how about you tell me what happened on this date of yours? Okay. My ship moored at Montes Pier, so she met me there. We went shopping and had something to eat in Chinatown. After that, we went to the park on the hill that looks out over the harbor. After that, we went to the bar Fjord on Initium. Had a few drinks and went our separate ways. So this bar was the last place you saw her? Yeah. She told me she had to work the next day, so we called a couple taxis and at the bar and went home separately. Dude, you got ditched. Did Eva do anything that seemed odd or out of the ordinary? Well, oh wow, I did his voice for Mr. Hunter. I guess, when you're talking to somebody, they have a peculiar accent. You start speaking the same way. She said that work was going well. Her only real complaint was that she couldn't see me when I was out at sea. Oh, Eva. Well, did you file a police report? So she's been missing for 3 days and you haven't filed a missing persons report? Oh, I guess she doesn't have any family here in the U.S. I guess that would be up to me. But I haven't yet. Why not? Well, because of her job. The police haven't been very cooperative. Good old diplomatic immunity. Goes both ways, huh? Right. The police don't care much about foreign diplomats. I heard about you, Mr. Hunter, so I thought I'd give you a call. Should we accept it or not accept it? Oh, we'll accept it. I'm not gonna be a dick. Alright, kid, you got yourself a detective. Thank you, Mr. Hunter. I've never been in a situation like this before. I just don't know what to do. Well, you can reach into your pocket and hand me all your money. Thank you. Oh, Eva, I hope you're safe. So how much is that puss worth to you, huh? Well, for starters, how about you give me Eva's address? Of course. Hold on. Holloway scribbled down something on a piece of paper and handed it to me. Alright, I'll get started right away. Good luck, Mr. Hunter. I hope you find her soon. Hey, don't worry about it. I'll hover back here before you know it. Are you staying in this hotel? Yes, I am. I live pretty far from here, so I thought it would be best if I stayed the night. Besides, it just doesn't feel right leaving if I don't know where Eva is. Of course. I'll be looking for you here if I find anything. Hey, babe, did you just call that dude babe? Yes, sir. Oh, think you could book a room for the two of us? I think you mean 2 rooms, sir. Bitch. Alright. Where do we have to go here? Barracan Console and Eva's place. Let's go to Eva's place. The pavement felt warm under my feet, and a cool breeze ruffled my hair. The streets began to get quieter and emptier as I moved away from the center of town. Occasionally I could hear the sound of piano drifting through the air. I took a minute to light up a cigarette and look out at the outside of Eva's apartment complex. I worked on cases before where a missing person had actually been in their home the entire time they were missing. I figured it'd be too much to hope Eva's case would be one of those. Yeah, especially if you're getting paid to do it, that'd be awesome. I guess we can go inside. I stepped into the apartment building. I found the apartment number Holloway written down and tried the doorknob. What, do we live in a barn? You're letting all the air out. I hadn't actually expected it to be unlocked. I couldn't help but wonder what was going on. I threw a quick glance around the hallway. I was in the clear. I turned the knob the rest of the way and stepped into the room. Huh? Man, this girl's a pig. The room. It'd been trashed. Eva herself didn't seem to be there, but I was starting to think she had been involved in an incident of some sort. As I looked around the room, it occurred to me that if someone were to find me, things could get awkward. I knew I had to split before I got myself in hot water, but I figured I'd already done the deed. Might as well have a look around before I left. Alright, let's look around. It'd been trashed. Eva herself didn't seem to be here, but I was starting to think she'd... Okay, never mind. Let's look at the vanity. The top of the vanity had barely been touched. It looked like whoever ransacked Eva's place hadn't been interested in it. Oh, they searched the room in vain? That was some highbrow comedy right there. There was some small change in jewelry on top of the dresser. Some of the stuff was pretty expensive, but the burglar didn't seem to want any of it. Dresser drawers. I wonder which ones are panty drawers. Someone had gone through every single one of the drawers quickly. They were looking for something. It was a mess. I couldn't tell if anything had been stolen just by looking at it, but disturbing a crime scene was farther than I wanted to go. How do you know? Shoebox. Shoebox. The shoebox had been opened and her shoes had been strewn across the room. There was a photo stand on top of it. Let's see. Photo stand. Even Holloway smiled out at me from the photo. It occurred to me that it might be prudent to have a photo of Holloway, just in case. The photo in the stand was a good chance to get one, but I didn't want to take something from a crime scene. Can we take a picture of it? Wait a minute. Marcy was my cell phone back then. Wasn't it Vera before? We hadn't been together long, but she'd come in handy plenty of times. Use Marcy? Yeah. That made sense. I could take a picture of the photo with Marcy. I could get what I wanted without disturbing the crime scene. You know, I don't know if you guys remember flip phones, but the cameras on them were not so good. I mean, it probably looked like like 2 dots. I whipped out Marcy and put her to work. See, it's probably how it would look, and no one would be able to recognize them from the photo. Perfect. So you're looking for 2 pixels? I don't know if I've seen 2 pixels around here before. Anyway. I think we're done here, so let's move outside. I'd seen everything I was going to see in Eva's room, and I didn't want to hang around there any longer than that. See, I respect Jake Hunter. He might talk pervy to his female colleagues, but he doesn't ruffle through women's panty drawers. I didn't want to hang around there any longer than I had to. I slipped out of Eva's apartment silently, closed the door behind me, and turned to find myself face to face with another tenant. Oh! Who is this? He glanced around nervously, then mumbled something and let himself into his apartment. I figured he must have mistaken me for Eva's boyfriend. I'd gotten away for the moment, but once it got out that Eva's place had been broken into, things could get uncomfortable. I'd been spotted, and I couldn't just forget about it, or I knew it would come back to bite me in the ass. Still, for the time being, I figured it was probably the best just to get the hell out of there. There it was, back in front of Eva's apartment complex. Explain? Sudden excuses weren't going to help me much. If anything, that would only make me more suspicious. I need to take some time to think things through before I did anything rash. Apartment? I didn't have the time to be marring the architecture. Fortunately, there didn't seem to be anyone around. What did I want to look at? My beautiful mug. I guess, a picture of Holloway and Eva. I found it in Eva's apartment. Okay. Let's move in, I guess. Let's try to escape. I wasn't going to solve anything by running away. I needed to think of a way to resolve the situation. What are we resolving? I don't get what we're resolving. I give them people who help me with my investigations. I give them to identify myself, but also to gain their trust. I don't know what I'm trying to do here. Oh, use Marcy? What? My best bet was to call someone. Oh. Police friend. Of course. Kim was always happy to help a buddy out of a jam. On the force they called him Detective Scott Xinksly, but I just call him King. He's one of Espicio's greatest police detectives, and a swell guy to boot, even though he does have a dog's name. We've been friends for longer than I can remember, and gotten each other out of more jams than I can count. If there was anyone who could help me, it was going to be King. I punched in King's number and waited. I didn't have to wait long.
Jake, my boy, I'd like to say I'm happy to hear from you, but you can only call like this when it's something the matter. What sort of scrape have you gotten yourself into this time?
I was glad for his help, but it always hurts a little to be predictable. I laid out the situation for him.
Very well, my boy. You did right to call me.
I'll give the Alveus police a call and see if we can straighten this all out.
For you, it's best you get out of there. No use tempting fate any further.
Sure thing, old man. Thanks, King. I owe you one.
Oh, pish-posh. We're mates, my boy. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Ooh, it's probably pimply and, old man, hairy.
Although I must say, I wouldn't mind a drink sometime. With a final chortle, King hung up, and line went dead.
Bullet dodged. All right, let's get out of here. Let's go to the consulate now. They can't touch me there. I didn't want to cause any problems for King. It was time I got the hell out of Eva's apartment and headed for the Baraccan consulate. Something about Depono felt exotic, foreign. It was easy to imagine I wasn't just miles from Espicio, but off in some European port city, bustling with local traders. If I hadn't been on the job, I probably would have taken time to walk a little slower, but I was in a hurry. I pulled out a cigarette and gazed at the consulate as I puffed away at it. Holloway had told me Eva was a secretary at the consulate. Could her job there be related to her disappearance? Could it? Let's inspect the place. Consulate. Before I left the hotel, Yulia told me that Baraka was a small country that received occasional aid from the U.S. For a small country, their consulate was pretty impressive. Maybe they felt like they had something to prove. Maybe they had a baby Venus. Far away from the urban center of Depono, the area near the consulate was cool, green with vegetation. There was a really loud car out front. It was a Honda Civic that someone had put fins in a loud muffler on, trying to make themselves look a little bit more important and quiet. Alright, let's move inside. I didn't know we could just walk inside. I couldn't see any reason just to stand outside the consulate staring at it. I figured it was time to go inside. The air inside the building was cool and crisp, like a museum or a supermarket. There I was, in the lobby of the Baraccan consulate. Baraka approached me. What did I want to do? Let's inspect the lobby. The high ceiling forced me to crane my neck to get a good look at it. There are a few velveteen couches. What? These are made of Velveeta? Macaroni and cheese? It's awesome. I started eating the chairs right away. And the chairs near the door, next to the tables with some old issues of gossip magazines. Clearly, the waiting area. Farther back, I could see a desk behind it, which sat a young woman. Now, I never understood why they put magazines, like reading magazines, inside of an eye doctor's. You can't see it. That's why you're at the eye doctor's. I figured that probably had to be the reception desk and the receptionist. Alright. I guess we talked to him? Receptionist. Hello, baby. I introduced myself. Welcome to the consulate of Republic of Baraka. I'm Iris Hart. What business do you have with the consulate today? I was a little surprised to hear her perfect, accentless English roll off her tongue. Especially since I thought we were in Japan. My name's Jake Hunter, ma'am. I'm a private eye. I'd like to ask you a few questions about Eva Christina. I believe she is employed here as a secretary. I didn't really feel like beating around the bush. Maybe hers, but not the topic of conversation. Talk? Iris. I wanted to see what she'd say. Okay. I noticed her shoulders sag at the moment, at the mention of Eva's name. She knew something, but it looked like she wouldn't give it up easy. It's always about Iris. It's never about me. Iris, Iris, Iris. Eva. Did you know Eva? Do you mean we were friends? Were we friends, sorry? Yes, yeah, I guess so. Yes, we were. Eva and I came here to America around the same time and both got jobs here. There weren't any other women around her age, so we talked with each other all the time. Then I guess you know she's been missing for the last 3 days. Yes. I mean, I didn't actually know that she'd gone missing, but she didn't come into work yesterday. She won't answer her phone. I did think it was a little strange. What did we want to talk about? Eva's actions. Have you noticed anything unusual lately about Eva's behavior? Anything unusual? Well, I guess she did seem kind of preoccupied. Come on, ma'am. I think you can do better than that. Well, I didn't actually ask her about it, so I don't know for sure, but she was awfully worried about something. She didn't say anything about it, though. Usually she tells me everything. Eva's friends. Did Eva have any other friends? I think she had a boyfriend named Harry. Other than that, she's very friendly. I think everyone here liked her. But I don't think she really had any other friends. I'm the only other person around who's around the same age. What about her coworkers? Coworkers? Well, she's the consul personal secretary, so I don't think she really had any coworkers apart from the consul herself and you. I'm not sure if he would know about Eva's personal life, but Consul Busk would probably be the best to speak to. What I want to talk about, let's meet this consul. Is there any chance I could meet with Consul Busk? Is this sort of like Bosk? I mean, is he the bounty hunter from Star Wars? One moment, please. I watched as she picked up the phone on her desk and began to speak in a language I didn't understand. It's Star Wars language. I'm sorry. The consul says he's busy at the moment. I bet he is. Think you can give me a call when he's got some time? Of course. How can I reach you? Damn. You're a dog. I guess we can give her the business cards. Give. Here, take this. Understood. You can count on me. Okay. I guess we can leave. Let's go outside. It looked like I heard how I was going to. As I walked toward the door, I could feel the air getting warmer. I almost felt relieved to be out of there. There was just something about the consulate. I couldn't put my finger on it, but I could feel that itch in my brain. I pushed open the doors and found myself once again outside the Baroccan consulate. I'd investigated Eva's workplace and her residence. That meant I'd seen the places where she spent most of her time. It was time to have a look at places she'd been to the day she went missing. Okay, let's move to, elsewhere. Let's go to Monty's Pier. Sounds like a place you'd, ride amusement parks. You'd ride amusement rides. Whatever, I don't know how to phrase that. The Depano Harbor saw hundreds of ships from all over the world every day. Much like Eva's... Yeah, I'm not going there. Monty's Pier was only one of a number of docking areas that clogged the shores of the bay. As it got closer, the smell of ocean grew stronger. There I was at Monty's Pier, where Eva had met Holloway the night they went out. Holloway's ship had to be nearby. Let's look at stuff. Warehouses. Warehouses full of food and textiles line the pier. Funny how fruits and vegetables begin their lives in an open field under the sun and end up in such a cold, lifeless place. It's a really weird comparison. Most of the activity on the street was trucks loading and unloading. There was almost no one walking around. Okay. No one here. Let's go to Chinatown. I pulled a cigarette and headed for Chinatown. The Chinatown area of Depona was well known as a popular tourist destination with a rich culture. China was only one of Depona's many faces, but there was something about its vibrant color and exotic atmosphere that made it stand out. It was the second place Holloway had been, with Eva the night she disappeared. Let's see. Let's inspect. Scenery. The strange smells and Chinese lettering almost make you feel like you're not in the good old US of A anymore. Street. Someone had told me that the streets in Depono's Chinatown laid out in accordance with the principles of Feng Shui. Now, my question is, are we actually in United States or are we in Japan? Did the translators just want it to be in USA so, like, you know, our fragile USA egos wouldn't be hurt that we're actually in somewhere else besides Japan? I mean, besides USA? I don't know. I have a feeling that we're supposed to be in Japan. We're good old Nippon. That's interesting. I wonder if that's in accordance with San Francisco or New Jersey. Sorry, not New Jersey. Philadelphia's Chinatown. People. Most of the people trudging down the sidewalk with me were as much of residents of Chinatown as I was. I was still in the part of Chinatown that the tourist sees. Quaint storefronts, colorful signs, exotic food, and high blood pressure. Behind all that, I knew was the real Chinatown, where Chinese culture wasn't just a way to sell more trinkets. Can I talk to anyone? People. I showed the photo of Eva to a person taking a walk near me. Okay. Excuse me. Have you seen this woman before? I was given the cold shoulder. Oh well, if it wasn't used to that sort of treatment, I'd make a pretty poor private investigator. I guess. Well, I guess we can move to somewhere else. Bar Fjord. What is Sweden? It was looking like Chinatown was a bust, but when I heard a voice behind me.
Ah, young sir, are you searching for something perhaps?
Sorry, this is a really bad Chinese accent. Yes, actually I am. The man was a bit of a strange duck, but it sounded like he might know something. I decided to play along. There's something you'd like to tell me?
Is there something you'd like to ask me?
I was looking for a girl by the name of Eva Christina. If you know anything about her, I'd love to hear it.
Yes, so you would. Very well, young sir. Answer me these questions 3, and answers return to thee.
The fuck?
What is your favorite color?
I had to ask myself if this guy was for real.
Question 1.
Sure didn't waste any time. You didn't see me, but I did like the whole finger thing.
In time long past, China was first unified under the Jin dynasty. Who was the founder of the Z dynasty?
Bruce Lee. It was Bruce Lee. Yes, Bruce Lee. No, it was Xinksly Wang. That would be Mr. Xinksly Wang, unless I missed my guess. He was named that because he had a big wang.
You are correct. Paso. Xinksly Wang began what was to become the Great Wall, was also known as Xinksly. Did you know that?
This guy's really fucking intense. No, I didn't.
Then today you have learned a great deal. Now, question 2.
I sure wanted to smoke.
Adults in China play many types of games, but the one of the most popular is a 4-player tile matching game. What is that game?
Mahjong. It has to be Mahjong.
Yes. You've won the Smart Fortune cookie.
Wow, this is getting like borderline racist.
Mahjong requires the player to have strategy, skill, and a bit of luck. To play, you'll need to build complete suits of 3 from 13 or 16 tiles. Perhaps an American would not understand it, but with time, even you could play Mahjong.
All of a sudden, like, it turns into like an advertisement for one of those really bad Mahjong, like cell phone games. It's even got like a slot machine game built in.
Do you see?
Sure. Now,
Question 3.
there's more?
This is the last question, but you will find it greater challenge than the others.
I was running out of patience.
An old Chinese story tells of a woman who dressed as a man joined the army to protect her frail father. What was her name?
Princess Diana, she died in a car crash. That might have been to protect her father. Joan of Arc was burned at the stake, and I think it's Mulan.
Mulan.
Come on, old man, give me a little credit. You're talking about Mulan. I watched that movie I don't know how many times. I can't get into Disney movies. They kind of suck.
Yes, you are right. Hua Mulan spared her father to prove to him her worth as a warrior. She defeated him and gave his blessing to take his place in China's army. After 12 long years, Hua Mulan rose to the prestigious rank of general. She became close friends with General Li, but one day her commander asked that Mulan marry his daughter. Hua Mulan evaded his question and left the army to go home. General Li was sent after her, but was surprised to discover his old friend was actually a woman.
Oh, is this gonna turn into the crying game?
He asked her to marry him, and they spent many years together. The end. You have passed.
Look, if that's all I got, a few questions I'd like to ask you.
Yes, of course you do. Ask away.
Where's Eva?
I haven't seen her in 20 years. Perhaps she has moved? She used to live in Santa Barbara.
Wait a minute. You're talking about Eva Christina, right?
Huh? No. We're talking about Eva Lee.
Ah, shit. Wrong Eva.
Then Eva Chen?
No.
Eva Lewis?
Look, old man, I said Eva Christina, didn't I? How many Evas do you know?
Oh, is that so?
Does the story of Mulan have anything to do with this mystery?
That I'm mistaken, young sir.
Right, thanks for nothing. I'd wasted too much time with that old cook. I need to get back to work.
Congratulations on passing my test. We will meet again.
I hope to God we wouldn't. Okay, that was weird. Let's go to Barfjord, like we were trying to before we got interrupted by the Chinese men. Given its location near the consulate, I figured the Fjord probably had a lot of foreign diplomats as customers. Holloway had told me that the Fjord was the last place to have seen Eva. He'd seen Eva. But it was still a little early in the day for a bar to be open. I considered waiting around until it opened, but there was still plenty I could do before I resorted to sitting down. I figured maybe I'd check out Montes Pier, where they met on the night in question. No. I already went there. I already saw this. Inspect. Warehouses? Warehouses full of textiles? Yeah. Most of the activity in the street was trucks still unloading. A return. Let's try talking to somebody. People. I grabbed the man nearby and showed him Eva's picture. Damn, dude, it's a hard sell.
Have you seen this woman?
Have you ever seen this girl before? It didn't work out as well as I hoped. Okay. Can I now go to the pier? I mean, Montes Pier?
Barfjord?
Given its location, yeah. I guess I have to go. Oh, okay, I can go here. A rather exhausting walk found me on top of a large hill that looked over Depona. I could see all the way to the ocean harbor, and it was quite a view. Almost made a fellow feel small. I stood taken back for a moment by the incredible view. I thought about how Holloway and Eva had probably enjoyed the same view on their date. He told me the park was the third place they'd gone to. I figured it couldn't hurt to visit the places they'd been to in order they had. Inspect. Around. Hill Park was famous for its nighttime view of the harbor and the city. It was a bit of a climb to get to the view, though, so it usually wasn't too crowded. From the park I could see the whole of the Bay Bridge, as it was stretched from Ivory Pier to Ifusco Pier. Alright, let's try talking to somebody. Tourist. I pulled out my photo of Eva and showed it to a passing tourist. Excuse me, have you ever seen this woman? Well, she sure is pretty little thing, ain't she? Sorry, fella, but I ain't seen her. Trump 2020! No, don't. She her lady? You're a lucky man. Okay, I guess we're not going to get anything out of that. Grab it by the pussy! Given its location, you're okay, yeah. Am I doing this wrong? Yeah. Anything else here? Around? No. Let's see if the 2020 person's still in here. Pulled out my photo, Eva. Alright, there's nothing here. So I guess we'll go back to the pier. Yeah. Yep. What am I doing wrong here? What am I doing wrong here? Alright, so I guess we can move to Chinatown because I don't see anything here. Headed for Chinatown. Yep. Alright, anything else? Yep. Oh, looks like we're in a pixel hunt here, guys. Yeah. Let's talk to people. I showed the photo of Eva. Yeah. Let's move back to here. Let's do all the things that, Large Hill. Let's inspect stuff. Hill Park was famous. Nighttime view of the harbor. Let's talk again. Tourist. I pulled it out and I showed it to somebody. They said it was pretty. Am I missing something? As far as I knew, it was the last place anyone had seen Eva. I hope to be able to pick up her trail. What did I want to do? Finally, I can actually go in. Let's move inside. It was a large, heavy-looking door, so I prepared myself for a fight getting it open. But it turned out to be much later than I expected, and I flew open, nearly clipping me across the face. I've done that before. I stepped into the bar. He's trying to look all badass. Oh, it's the bartender. He looks like Colonel Mustard, or at least what I think he would look like. Excuse me, have you seen this woman before? He's speaking in PlayStation language. And there's a snatch right there. I couldn't understand a thing he said. About English, please. Can you speak English, not PlayStation language? I run up against a wall. It was time to change tactics. I think he said something about beta armor from Monster Hunter World. Notice anything? Did you notice anything strange about Eva? I was getting nowhere fast. Okay. I guess that's not gonna work. Customers. Let's look at the other customers. The only other customer were a man in a suit and a middle-aged woman. Let's talk to the man. Maybe he can speak some English. Eva. Excuse me, sir, but have you ever seen this woman before? Yeah, I have. That's Eva. Eva Christina. She's a Barachan. Did something happen to her? Well, that's the thing, sir. My name's Jake Hunter, and I'm a private eye. I'm looking for Christina. She seems to be gone missing, and I'm looking to find her. If you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a few questions. Oh dear, she's gone missing? It's terrible. Such a nice girl. Last seen. When was the last time you saw Eva? Oh my. Let me guess. Well, I guess it was pretty recently. Yeah, it's Carl's birthday. Carl's a friend of mine from church. I think that was about 5 days ago. What was she like? Did you notice anything out of the ordinary? Well, she was happy. That's not out of the ordinary, though. My goodness, gone missing, you say? How terrible. Anything else? Was there anything else? I mean, anything. I mean, it might seem insignificant to you. I can't think of anything. They were enjoying themselves. Pietro. I couldn't just understand the words that were coming out of his mouth. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? How about the woman? Hello, baby. Excuse me, have you seen this woman before? Oh, yeah. I knew her. Eva Christina? What about her? Well, I'm a private investigator. My name is Jake Hunter, and it appears Eva's gone missing. I'm trying to figure out where she might have gone. I'd like to ask you a couple questions, if you don't mind. Tell you what, detective. How about you buy me a drink? Then we can talk about Eva all you want. Sure. For some reason, it smelled like the Bay Area near her. I waved to the bartender, who sidled over to us. I asked him to refill the slided, you mean, typo, of the lady's drink and to give me one of whatever she was having. Turned out she was having tequila by the glass. Damn, woman. You're a sweet boy, aren't you? Okay, this is a little weird. Relationship. So what's your relationship with Eva? You pals or what? Oh, nothing special. I helped her out a little when she came to the U.S. We've been drinking buddies ever since. Actually, she's been helping me out most of the time these days. Okay. Saw her? When was the last time you saw Eva? About 3 days ago, I think. She was here with a fellow of hers, Harry. I think his name is. Anyway, they spent the whole evening together. I didn't get a chance to talk to her. Oh, me? I was by myself, of course. So hard to find a good man these days. Oh God. Is this the fellow you saw with Eva? I flipped over my cell phone and showed her the picture I'd taken of Holloway. Her breath smelled like a frat party. And semen. You know, like the ones from the Bay. You perverts. Yeah, that's him. Navigator or something on a freighter, I think she said. Well, it looked like Holloway had been telling the truth about that, at least. Notice anything? Did you notice anything strange about Eva the night you saw her? Let me think. She paused to take a long pull from her tequila. Yeah, come to think of it, when her boyfriend stepped away for a moment to go to the restroom, I'm pretty sure I saw her sigh. Something wrong about that. A young girl on a date with a nice man like that ought to be happy, not sighing. Do you remember anything else? No, I can't think of anything. Alright, well, if you do think of anything, I would appreciate it if you could give me a call. At this number. I handed one of her my business cards and caught another whiff of her breath. I've been in this country for a real long time, but I never met an honest-to-goodness detective before. I'll be sure to give you a call if I think of anything. Of course, you could always keep me company while I remember. Nah, I'm good. I stepped out through the front door and looked down at the street toward my hotel. My dogs were barking something fierce from a full day of full walking, and I was looking forward to a nice evening of sitting. It wasn't long before the lights of the new gold hotel shone down on me, and with them came a sense of relief. There was no place like home. Well, figuratively speaking. Welcome back, sir. Thanks. How'd the investigation go? Well, I've got all of Bupkis. Not much for a whole day at work. Then again, I suppose finding nothing is a clue of another sort. If you say so, sir. I was thinking I'd take a moment and go over everything I saw today. Make sense of it. In that case, I'll go out to the cafe and order some coffee. I'm afraid I didn't have time to pack any.
Don't sweat it, babe. I think we'll manage.
I let myself sink into the sofa and lit up a cigarette. Tobacco smoke drifted into the air as I began to think back on what I'd seen that day. Let's think. I spent the day gathering information about Eva. First, what was Holloway's job? Holloway was a navigator. He was a navigator on an internal cargo ship. His job kept him at sea for months at a time. When had Holloway said Eva disappeared? 3 days ago. 3 days before Holloway had called me. Holloway had realized something was wrong with Eva didn't answer her phone and suspected she'd gone missing. When did Holloway file a missing persons report? He never did. Yeah, he hadn't filed a report, but he seemed to think he had a good reason. Mr. Holloway came to me about Eva because... Consulate. He worried her position at the consulate would prevent the cops from investigating the case. After taking in the case, I visited Eva's apartment, but someone had been there before me and trashed the place. What was the motive for trashing Eva's apartment? Unknown. I still had no idea. After seeing her apartment, I was starting to get a feeling for what might have happened to Eva. What was the possibility that Eva was involved in some serious trouble? It was high. Unfortunately, it was looking more and more likely that Holloway's girl was in some pretty deep shit. I talked to someone who claimed to be friends of Eva at a consulate. Yeah, I wonder, standing in shit, like a big puddle of shit, would you sink like quicksand? That'd be a terrible way to die. That'd be really shitty. What was the name of Eva's friend?
Iris Hart.
Yeah, Iris Hart, the receptionist at the consulate. According to her friend, Eva worked in the consulate as... a secretary. Yeah, she was the Consul Busk's personal secretary. Her friend at the consulate had also said Eva had been... What had Eva been doing?
Worrying.
Yeah, she'd been worrying about something. After visiting Eva's office and her apartment, I decided to visit all the places she had gone on a date with Holloway. I'd only been able to find anything in one place. Bar Fjord. Yeah, the Bar Fjord. How was Eva's reputation there?
Great.
Eva had a great reputation. It hadn't sounded like she was the kind of girl who got mixed up in any kind of serious trouble. My cigarette almost gone. I thought back on everything I'd seen, trying to make sense of it all. I didn't see any holes in my logic. What I'd learned so far supported Holloway's theory, and suggested that she had gotten into something bigger than she expected. I was still thinking when Marcy began to blink and beep. I glanced at the caller ID. Jumble of numbers I didn't recognize. Probably a payphone. Was King calling me back already? I was wondering why King would call me from a payphone as I lifted Marcy to my ear.
I will only say this once. Leave this case alone.
The voice on the other end spoke with a thick accent. I only barely registered his words when the line went dead. The silence was every bit as ominous as the warning had been. And that would be it for this episode. I hope you guys are enjoying. If you are, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe, because it makes me feel good. And make sure you have a good night. Good night.